flooded it, they killed a bunch of the trees. So I'm gonna go through some nice hardwood. We got 330s, 1 280, and 2 footholds. Here we go. Welcome to the Beaver Retriever channel, where I bring you along showing you my lifestyle. And today we're getting more firewood, trying to gather up all my firewood by the end of this week. And that way next week we can start working on my truck. I plan on swapping the frame out on this truck. So it's about 16 pickup loads is what I figured. Fill my woodshed. And we're on, this will be load number 11 today. So nice. That'll be hopefully a few more days we'll have it done. At least all the wood will be out, and I'll split it whenever in the next few weeks. I just want to get all my wood out of the woods before hunting season. I just went out and bought a new chain. Let's get to look it over and see which loop goes where. Oh, we're getting there. Right there. We got it. Yeah, so I cut a bunch of wood the previous year for the following year's firewood, so it's nice and seasoned. So we got a couple of nice trees right here. We got a birch and an ash right there we're gonna cut up. That should make up this truckload. Yeah, that's some nice firewood, nice and seasoned. Yeah, so I'm not even going to be here this winter, but I'm still going to fill my woodshed. And in December, I'm headed for Alaska for 3 months, so I'll have wood left over by the end of this winter here, and won't have to get that much next year. Take a little while. Some nice, good, solid firewood. Yeah, we're spoiled down here in Maine. When I go to Alaska, all we got for choices of firewood up there is softwood or birch, white birch. They don't have beech and maples and yellow birch, and yeah, they don't have none of that. So, and they deal with it just fine. Still produces heat. Just got to put wood on the fire that many more times in a day, which no big deal. You still staying warm. That's the objective. Yeah, so this is some good quality firewood. That was a yellow birch, an ash tree, and a beech tree. So that was some good firewood. So nice. We're gonna go get this offloaded, and then I think we're gonna go work on my pumpkin stand. I'm trying to build a little farm stand to sell all my pumpkins this fall. So I just start building here today. Pile of wood is growing. So what did I say? We need 5 more loads. So we'll do another load this evening. But right now we're gonna go work on my pumpkin stand. I'm gonna try to stack some logs together and make it like a log cabin style little farm stand to sell a lot of my teas and a little bit of everything. And I'm mainly selling pumpkins there, but I'm gonna try to sell some other stuff on there. Yeah, so this is where we're gonna put the farm stand this year. So hopefully this works. I'm just gonna put up a lot of signs. We're not right on the main road. We're a mile in on a dirt road, but if I put up enough signs on the main road, they should draw in enough attention to come up this old country road, and we'll make a wooden farm stand right here to put all like my teas and the money box and stuff. It's all gonna be self-serve. And then I'll put all the pumpkins and everything over here. And I'm also gonna be trying to sell some birch bowls, some white birch bowls, and a little bit of everything. So we're gonna make another little section right out in front of the farm stand area here for other decorations. So fall time's the season of decorations, so might as well take advantage of it and sell some stuff. So it's not going to be perfect by no means, but I don't really think it has to be. It's only a little farm stand, so yeah. So this is just leftover pieces from logging this summer. That's what I'm building this out of. That place we're sending our logs, it had to be 12 foot or longer. So anything, and it had to be a 5-inch top and bigger. So anything smaller and shorter, we kept. Right here. So on my cabin, I ended up measuring everything, but this year I'm just gonna eyeball it and cut a little swath down in there. roll it back over and see how it sits. Yeah, that sits. Freaking idiot. These are fucking brand new pants. I'm out here cutting this freaking pitchy softwood. So we're gonna go home and change my pants before we cut any more. So that will freaking get this all pitchy so quick. I only bought these pants a couple of days ago. Like them to last at least a few days, being somewhat nice. Looks good. Yes, we're back at it finally. Went and changed into some crappier clothes. We're gonna notch this one out. Hammer down, hopefully get a couple rows done right now, and hopefully in a few days we'll have it completely done. See how this one sits. Yeah, we got a few rows done today. We got 4 rows done, so almost halfway there. Tomorrow we'll grab some more pieces and continue building. Shouldn't be too bad. It's like 12 by 5 or so, 12 by 6. Be shelves in here with all my stuff on it. All the pumpkins will be outside, out front, off to the side. Put some like birch poles and stuff over on this other side. And put maybe some birch bark in here on some shelves. We'll have some maple syrup in here. Wish I had some honey, but I'm out of honey. Yeah, so we just went out and bought a dog box to bring all the dogs to Alaska in. So we're going to be headed into Alaska on December 1st. Yeah, we'll have to add a couple compartments to it. It's only a 4 dog, so I want to make it into a 6 dog. And I'm bringing 7 dogs with me, but Boss can ride in the cab and 6 can ride in the back here. So pretty good condition. We're going to try to offload it with the tractor and set it over here on the ground until I get time to work on it. Alright, now we're going to gather up some more of these pieces from left over from my logging. So, a couple of 12 footers there. Plenty of 6 footers. Hopefully we'll have enough 12 footers. If not, we'll have to go cut a few. I should have plenty here down the road. I think I just counted 9. A bunch over here. These are all ones that were just too small at top. Yeah, that should be enough to finish it. There's quite a few short ones and 12 footers. So. Yeah, definitely enough to finish it. We got at least 6 or more long ones, and we got like 14 shorter ones. And we're only doing 6 more rows, so we need 12 on the sides and 6 on the back. So, and I still think I'm gonna change my mind as I get up there. I'll probably do 1 less in the back. One going on. Yeah, we got another layer and a half on. 2 in the back and only 1 on the sides, and that's gonna be good for today. And I'd like to go get a load of firewood or 2 before the end of the day, so I'm gonna do some errands and then go get some firewood. So here's load number 12. I only need 4 more loads and all my firewood will be all in a big pile right here. And then in the next few weeks I'll worry about splitting it. So I just wanted to get it all out of the woods this week. Some of the stuff seasoned pretty good. Some of it's still green on the edges. So luckily I'm not burning much wood this winter. I'll be leaving for Alaska most of the winter, so a lot of the stuff will still get another year to season. Yeah, this will be like year number 4 that I've had firewood completely done before winter. Went a couple of winters cutting as I go, and that sucked. Sometimes I was struggling to find good dry wood to keep warm. once we finish my firewood, we're gonna go help my father do his. Pretty much just gonna drag it out for him, get it all in a pile. He can split it and bring it into the woodshed. Good exercise for him. You guys want some sticks? Brought out some extra sticks for the doggies. This morning we're out in the pumpkin patch and kind of just check it out. A lot of pumpkins starting to turn orange finally. Maybe a lot of pumpkins, about an acre and a half here I planted of pumpkins this year. Yeah, quite a few turning orange. Another week, maybe 2 weeks, I'll have plenty to start selling. Deer must have a good food source somewhere else because they haven't nibbled on a pumpkin yet. Usually they do start taking bites out of some of these green ones. Like one bite out of every pumpkin in the whole area. So I don't see any yet. So I'm hoping I'll have about 1,000 pumpkins to sell. Hopefully more, but I think on the low end it'll be about 1,000. I counted one row one day. I quickly counted and I counted like 82 pumpkins or something like that. And I had 12 rows, so I figured it'd be about 960 pumpkins. Probably give or take some more, so that's a good sized pumpkin. That freaking thing. Yeah, that's a good sized pumpkin. Nice. So I carve in the pumpkins with a pin and write stuff when they're still growing. And there's my pumpkins for sale sign. That's pretty cool. Couple of smiley faces. The eyes aren't very big on the smiley faces. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So I did a bunch with like Happy Halloween, Happy Holidays. I put some bolts in some, so it looks like a Frankenstein head. See if I can't find you one of them. Show you one of them on the walk back here. So here's one of my zip tie pumpkins. Put a zip tie in that pumpkin and it stays and makes it look like two pumpkins. And put the pumpkin in the hollow log and it freaking split the wood. Yep, split the wood right off. That's still pretty cool though. That come out pretty cool. I'm gonna try to find one with the bolts there. Show you. Oh, here's another funny one. Just carved in a pumpkin face with a squared out mouth, square nose. That's funny. Oh, there's a bolt one right here. So that'll be pretty cool. Here's the other bolt. There goes that. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Look like a Frankenstein head. Black bolts when the pumpkin turns orange. That'll look pretty cool. Oh no, another bolt one down here. The bolt's sealed right in. Yep, I can't even turn the bolt. It grew right into place. That's gonna be cool. Something different. How often have you been to a pumpkin stand and seen a pumpkins with bolts out of the head? Just trying to be random. Trying to draw in the attention for buyers. I need something cool, unique, advertise that, take some cool pictures of that, and that'll draw in the customers. Yeah, so today we're gonna try to finish getting my firewood out of the woods. Now we need 4 more loads, so we're actually down here on an upper beaver bog where the beaver out of my pond moved up here a couple of years ago, and when they flooded it, they killed a bunch of the trees. So I'm gonna go through some nice hardwood. I ain't gonna mess with these softwood, but there's a few hardwood over here. There's a yellow birch and an ash. I don't know how dry this stuff will be, but it's definitely dead. So they killed it off by flooding this area. No leaves on it, no hint of being alive. So we got a ash tree right there and a birch tree right there. Yellow birch. That'll be some nice firewood. Holy, trees falling here. Yeah, that'll be okay. Definitely still feels a little wet, but we'll roll with it. We'll throw it in there, especially ash. Ash burns pretty good even when it is wet. So got enough dry firewood to get me through till I leave to Alaska. So a lot of this stuff won't even be burnt till next season or in my sugar shack. I might use a lot of this in my sugar shack. There's load number 13. We need to get 3 more. So we had a little more on the way out. We cut them 2 trees down out there, and then I had a couple of trees, seasoned trees I cut down last winter. So I think we got 1 more load. We're gonna get us some birch, and then my last 2 loads are gonna be some real good seasoned stuff that that'll be the first stuff I'm burning here before I leave to Alaska. Go down into our next spot where we're gonna get some wood. This is a birch tree I peeled last week. There was a bunch of dead ones here, and I peeled the birch bark off it and sold it. So we're gonna cut up the rest of it for firewood. And I got some more over there. I got a dead ash right there to cut up. If you didn't watch last week, make sure when you're done watching this one, go check out last week's. You'll see all about the birch bark. I peel and sell birch bark, kind of one of the many things I do to keep income going. Hey, we got load 14 done. Nice. Hopefully we can get out of here pretty good. Big rock right there. Bank and some more rocks up there. Should be able to make it just fine. Those birch are pretty wet still, so we're gonna like toss it over my pile here, so it'll be like the first stuff I stack in the woodshed, which will be the last rows I get to. So it'll be plenty seasoned by then, which will probably be next season or next spring. I might use this in the sugar shack. So we're gonna get this offloaded and get 2 more and be done. Yeah, so I decided to take a break from the firewood and over here checking on the bees, and they're doing freaking fantastic. Yeah, so we got a bunch of newbies coming out today doing the figure 8, trying to learn this is home before they go out foraging. So they're probably about week-old bees. So before a week they spend the time in the hive, cleaning the hive and feeding the queen and taking care of other babies. And take care of eggs and larvae. Now they're coming out taking flight. This is a swarm I caught, probably about a month ago now, so they're doing good for a late season swarm. Caught it August 6th. Yeah, I caught it August 6th and today's September 9th, so yeah, a little over a month. So new eggs are all hatching, and we're not going to inspect it today. Maybe we'll inspect it by the end of the week. If not, next week we'll open it up, see how the honey stores are doing, see how they're doing. But for today we're just sitting back watching them. This is my last load. This makes load number 16. So nice. That should fill the woodshed. So we'll see when I split it here in a couple weeks. We'll take a few days and split it, and we'll see if it fills the woodshed. Last year it did, and the year before it did. So I don't see why it wouldn't this year. I always get roughly 16 loads. So the rest of it all can go to my father. There's more over here. There's a bunch down on the lower property here. So all that I'll twitch out. My father can cut it up and use that for his firewood. We're gonna go offload this, and we actually got a beaver job to go do. Got a message this morning, got some beavers to take care of. So it's been a while since I've done a nuisance job, so that'll be good. Could use the money. So we're gonna go set some beaver traps. All right, now the firewood's done, we're gonna go set some traps. So I'm gonna grab probably 2 drowning sets and probably 3-4 conibears, bears, and I think that'd be good. There, we got 3 330s, 1 280, and 2 footholds. So that should be good. Trap setters, you see wire, caster should be over there. We'll double check though. All right, we're off to set a beaver job. Look at the trees the beaver killed at this spot. I actually trapped this one out last year maybe. I think I trapped this out with this company. Look at all the dead trees. Alright, we got a foothold and a conibear, and we're gonna head up to, there's a spot I know I set a there's a spot up here I set a foothold last time. It worked perfect, so I'm gonna get up to there and alright, here we go. Oh, I gotta throw it out further. Ow! Urgh. Ow! Throw it out too hard. Ow! So I ripped my hand off. Get deep this is. And yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna put the trap right up here. This fucking trap sucks. The safeties are upside down. Just as soon as you set it, the freaking safeties come off, and I hate that. I am not a person that wants to catch myself. I see people hang on to these jaws all the time. They're the ones that are going to catch themselves someday. But they don't care. So, there we go. Yeah, it's a pretty good set. This is a nice channel all the way down through here. So now I'm debating whether I want to maybe set one more. So that way we're done in like 1 or 2 checks. I'll get my last trap in. So we got 4 traps. We got 2 traps down by the dam and 2 traps up in this channel, which are all right here. So we're going to put a caster mound up above here. I'm going to make it look like a beaver actually was there, especially on the nuisance job. If he somehow does make it around all my traps and sees caster scent with no mound, no nothing, then they're wicked wise. They're like, whoa, that beaver didn't even put up a caster mound. That was not a beaver. At least that's my theory on it. Make it look believable that a beaver went up and down. So we got a bunch pushed up right there like a beaver fucking pushed it right up. Throw some caster on it. All the way down through so they really think beaver was here. We'll be back in a day or 2 to check them. Yeah, me and Boss Dog headed up, checked them traps this morning. So we can't get some fresh beaver meat. We'll go home, skin it, actually start saving the hides from now on. All right, let's see what we got. I'm betting we got a beaver. I'm hoping we got a beaver. Well, the water level's dropped, and there's a beaver. Yep, we got a beaver in the foothold one. Yeah, I don't think he came this way. There's no real way around my Honeybees here. So, it doesn't look like he went over it at all. All my sticks would have been moved if he went around it. There's a little bit of a channel over there, but I think this is more or less the channel. So maybe he came in from the other way. Yeah, both of these traps above were still set, and they're out of water. So, I'm trying to, probably going to move them down below. At least one of them down below, but I'm thinking that might only been the one only beaver. So we're gonna haul this one out and maybe go poke out just a small piece of the dam down below at the culvert and see if it gets repaired. And if it doesn't get repaired by the time I come up and check next time and I don't catch any beaver, there's no beaver left. If I catch a beaver and it's not repaired, probably I caught that last beaver. If it's repaired and there's no, I didn't catch any, I'm gonna leave traps in. That's how I tell if beaver are left or whatnot. Good freaking load. You got it. Yeah. I'm actually gonna pull a piece of this dam maybe. That one will be easier. We'll be able to see if they build it back up. Stomp down on it. Enough. They'll hear that one in the water and be over here and plug that right up if there's beaver left. Let's go with that. We'll wait a couple of days before I check it again. We're going to go home and skin that beaver. Skin it and get it ready for the freezer and meat and fur and all of it. This is the 8th deer I've seen coming in and out of this job since yesterday. He's over in this bog. He doesn't think I see him, but I see him or her. That was actually a baby. Where Mama is. Mama must be right here somewhere. Alright, we're gonna work on getting this beaver skin. Get it into the freezer. As you can see, Boss Dog was over here. He wants his share. I guess he can have a foot. I'll let the other one see. Yeah, forgot I had a new knife. been that long. I ended up buying this new knife. It's a little bigger than a normal beaver skinning knife. Alright, we're going to take out some back straps right now for myself. It is pretty fresh caught beaver here. It was chilly enough last night. I'll save this. Yeah, my beaver skunk. Alright, I'm going to try to get a couple more layers on the pumpkin stand here tonight. Bad. I think I gotta do this one over. Look at that freaking gap in there. The only problem is the top is too small. Like I can't even notch it out any further. We'll be cutting off the end of the log. This log right here is just too big at the butt. But it's already in place, so we're gonna keep running with it. But we got another log. This one right here, that's a little bigger than this one. So hopefully I can set it down further and notch it out further. Yeah, get it sit a little closer. It sucks, this log was so big. Yeah, it fits. Definitely did it different with my cabin. I used a freaking compass and drew out the lines of the logs and stuff. I almost should have done it with this, but it's just a farm stand, so. We'll try to get it completely done tomorrow. That's probably the plan. We'll try to completely get this done tomorrow. Be ready for next week. Alright, working on the farm stand today, but we're going to take a break right now and go check my food plot. I got a game camera up, so I'm going to go down there and grab the SD card out of a camera and see what we got for deer hanging around. Grab that card out of this camera right here. I'm going to go back to the truck and check that card on my phone, and we'll see what we got. Yeah, obviously I got a freaking stick or something is on the screen of the camera. So definitely seeing deer, but that thing's right in the middle of the freaking camera. Yeah, there's a deer right there at 5:09 p.m. But that sucks. I hate when that happens. Still go through them, maybe we'll catch a glimpse of some horns, see a buck. And it finally went away. I don't know what the hell was on the lens. Now it's not on there. Yeah, we had a raccoon show up. They like apples too. No, we had a coyote show up. Yep. I'll be trapping you, buddy. Yeah, so I think it was a caterpillar on that screen. Stayed there for a couple of days and finally moved off the screen and back to normal. Yeah, so now we're gonna cut off the sides here. Butt that right back. I ended up screwing a board on there level, straight up and down. And we'll do that to both sides. And we're gonna mount post here in the front. Yeah, so I got up both my posts, 2 posts here in the front. Now we're gonna put a beam going from post to post, and then we'll go from that beam down to the back rail. Oh, stuck well. Now I'll put up a couple of boards to try to keep this from falling off. Just like that. Come on, bud. Yeah, so we're going to take a break from the pumpkin shack and we're going to check the honeybees real quick. I've been checking about once a week. It's a swarm I caught about a month ago. There's a bee trying to come out right now. This bee right here is trying to get out. There you go. Fresh bee. It's a lot of brood on that one. Yeah, that's looking very good. Nice. Yeah, we're going to throw this cover back on real quick and go run and grab a couple of frames of honey. I got a couple of good frames of honey here. Really good frames of honey. Completely packed full. Some hives that died off on me last winter. Full of honey. There's the bees on that one. This frame. Watch out. Just working on the shack again today. I built a nice bench, so I put all my teas and my tea steepers and maple syrup. And yeah, so the bench came out pretty good. Should work. I'll sweep it all off, and then I think I can maybe even write right on the front what I got and how much it is. So I have like raspberry tea, pine needle tea, chaga, raspberry leaf, melon, maple syrup, and the tea steepers. Probably put the money box back here on this post. So now we are working on the roofing. Got a bunch of crap here, 1-inch boards. We're gonna start putting on the roof. Alright, roof's going on. So what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna board it over. I'm gonna go buy a cheap tarp. So I just don't have the money for roofing right now. So we'll I think a tarp will be just fine for the farm stand for this year. Next summer I'll buy some actual metal roofing for it. Yeah, the farm stand is done. I think that came out pretty damn good for not being a carpenter. And I hate carpentry too, so. But I don't mind it with a chainsaw, as long as I don't have to sit there with freaking skill saws and freaking chop saws and everything else. I like my chainsaw work. That come out nice. So now we're going to try to put some birch poles and try to corral them into this area and keep deer out of eating my pumpkins. I don't want to show up over here and deer eat all, take a bite out of every one of my pumpkins out here for sale. So we're going to rope this area off, make it so there's an entrance and exit right here for people to come in. They come down, have to walk by my wild teas and stuff. And then I'll have regular pumpkins up there, and then I'll have my custom pumpkins, like the ones with bolts in them, and ones with writing in them and stuff. I'm going to ask a little more for them ones, since I got a little extra into it. So I'm probably going to do $5 on them and $3 on a regular pumpkin, any size regular pumpkin. I just went and got some birch poles left over from a birch pole order I did a while back. I'm going to try to hammer them into the ground. I got some yellow rope. So I'm going to try to, like say, go around all that, make them enter here, but also keep them corralled into here. I don't want them going out into my woods here. I want them to be from the road to the pumpkin stand, and that's it. Yeah, I'm going to try pounding one of these in. Might just call it a day after that. Yeah, so I'm just going to wait to do the rest of this. I actually want to finish mowing and raking through here. I might as well do it before I set up the rope and the border here. So that's actually going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to stay tuned in next week for more adventures with the Beaver Retriever.